Former governor of South Carolina, Nikki Haley, has finally dropped out of the 2024 presidential race following a string of losses on Super Tuesday. Following her announcement, Nikki Haley thanked her supporters and admitted that Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee. While Haley did congratulate Trump, she stopped short of endorsing him and stated, "It's now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him, and I hope he does that." In an effort to capitalize on the news, President Joe Biden stated, "Donald Trump made it clear he doesn't want Nikki Haley supporters. I want to be clear. There is a place for them in my campaign." While Joe Biden did acknowledge that Haley's supporters may disagree with him on a lot, he stated that they agree on the fundamental issues such as standing up for the rule of law and treating each other with dignity. Basically, he needs your votes or he's going to lose. Now, former President Donald Trump also took his chance to woo Nikki Haley supporters, proving Biden is a liar once again. Donald Trump stated, "I would further like to invite all of the Nikki Haley supporters to join the greatest movement in the history of our nation. Biden is the enemy. He is destroying our country. Make America great again." While it's true that Donald Trump has bashed Nikki Haley voters in the past, he was speaking about the Democrat voters who switched parties in order to support Nikki Haley and try to make his numbers lower. But we see right through this. And I think that's unethical, but I guess it is legal. And so they were able to do that. Now, unfortunately, for Republicans, Nikki Haley wasted roughly $114 million running against Donald Trump. This money could have been spent on furthering the interests of Republican voters and targeting Joe Biden, the real common enemy, not Nikki Haley or Donald Trump. But instead, Nikki Haley chose to spend the money on trying to beat Donald Trump, but ultimately failed miserably. Unlike Nikki Haley, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell swallowed his pride and endorsed Donald Trump for president earlier today. Just moments after Nikki Haley dropped out, he stated, "It is abundantly clear that the former president, Trump, has earned the requisite support of Republican voters to be our nominee for the president of the United States. It should come as no surprise that as nominee, he will have my support." By the way, I want to thank you guys for supporting me and this channel. Thank you guys so much for giving this a like, because it tells YouTube to promote the broadcast and invite other people to come in and learn the truth. So thank you so much. Also, don't miss out on my interview from earlier today with Roger Stone. He gave some of the most brilliant commentary on Donald Trump and what to expect between now and Election Day. I will link that at the end of this video. With the greatest rematch of all time officially happening, Attorney General Merrick Garland has already bashed voter ID laws in an attempt to make voting as easy as possible. I'm all for each American being allowed to vote, but taking away the requirement to prove that you're an American citizen and that you are who you are shouldn't be bashed as racist or denigrating to anybody. We don't want illegal immigrants voting. And most people can get an ID. So to say that it's racist is absolute nonsense. All right, now look, being able to identify yourself is very important. You can't register for certain utilities. You can't deposit checks. You can't drive a car. Like, all of these things require having an ID. Why shouldn't being able to vote for the most important person in the world also just come with the rule that you've got to prove who you are if you want to vote in an American election? Okay, it's now March, and Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell just gave Biden a real reason to panic. With inflation being one of the top issues for voters, it was expected that Jerome Powell would cut rates this month. However, Jerome Powell spoke to the House Financial Service Committee today and claimed that he is not yet confident enough to do so. So what does this mean for Joe Biden? It means that life will continue to be expensive, mortgages expensive, loans expensive, and this is going to hurt Joe Biden. Okay, now Mayor Eric Adams and Governor Kathy Hochul of New York are also panicking. The city of New York is dealing with terror-struck citizens. Tourism is down and illegal immigration is up. What else is up? Crime. Governor Kathy Hochul is signing an emergency order to call up 750 National Guard soldiers. Also, she's asking police officers to make themselves abundantly present in the New York City subway system in order to cut back on crime. And so New York is in a panic. There is so much crime going on, migrant crime and other crime. And so they're just panicking. Now, Kathy Hochul said, "I'm sending a message to all New Yorkers. I will not stop working to keep you safe and restore your peace of mind whenever you walk through those turnstiles." She added, "People going to a job or to visit family should feel safe to do so in our city." Now, sadly, the Truckers for Trump strike boycott is basically over. Not enough truckers banded together to abandon loads or reject taking a load to New York City. I want to express my gratitude and appreciation for those that had the courage to do that, and I understand that this was a big task. I know sometimes it feels like Letitia James of New York is winning and punishing people like you and me, but we still have time on our side. I'm still optimistic that things can turn around. Billionaire Elon Musk recently made headlines by accusing President Joe Biden of deliberately ignoring the surging immigration rates, allegedly as a strategy to secure a perpetual Democratic majority here in the United States. The tech magnate comments shed light on his belief that Biden's lenient immigration policies aim to bolster the Democrat Party's influence indefinitely. Musk's assertion gained traction amidst growing concern over the influx of illegal immigrants, which was over 2 million people during 2023. Now, I want to know from you guys in the comments, is this on purpose or is immigration out of control for all presidents? I believe it's on purpose, but maybe just write on purpose or on accident, depending on your opinion. And I would love to hear from you guys. I love reading your comments. Hey, everybody. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. It's just a long broadcast. I want to make sure that we get through all of it. Hello, hello. Oh, on purpose, on purpose, on purpose. When will martial law come in New York? I don't know. But you guys, it's out of control. 1,000 people they're going to deploy into the subway systems because the crime is so out of control. It's really sad to read about. I was hoping to go to New York sometime in 2024 with my wife, but honestly, I don't know if I feel comfortable going there. All right, now back to Elon Musk. Musk also addressed the recent incident involving a group that assaulted New York police officers. These were migrants, gangs specifically, that beat up and mocked the police there in New York. And then what happened? This same Kathy Hochul, who said that crime is out of control and she's doing everything she can to make you feel safe, she sided with the illegal immigrants and allowed them to get out and said that she was going to have to decide whether to deport them or not. Now, Mayor Eric Adams is saying, we are a sanctuary city, but we cannot follow sanctuary law if people are going to break the law and going to injure New Yorkers, right? I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, because I feel like Kathy Hochul is speaking out of both sides of her mouth. She's saying, I'll do everything I can to keep you safe. More police, the National Guard, emergency executive orders. On the other side, she's saying, we don't really care that our policemen and our citizens are getting beat up. We're going to continue to steal your tax money and give it away to people that snuck into the country. Stephen, I love your show. I love listening to you. Sorry, that caught my eye. Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. She's talking out of both sides of her mouth. All right, now get this. The Biden administration has finally told the truth. I know, crazy, right? They have been flying illegal immigrants into the United States on secret flights to ease the pressure at the Texas border. But here's the kicker. They now won't say which airports they've been using to sneak people into the country because that could become a national security issue. How about bringing hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants into the country illegally? That's a national security issue. How about pretending that there wasn't an issue at the Texas border? How about pretending that the numbers had gone down while secretly you were flying people into the country? It's absolute insanity to me. Now, this is like a covert operation happening right under our noses. Last year, while we were all caught up with the record number of migrants pouring over the southern border in Texas and Arizona, Joe Biden's team was quietly and secretly arranging flights to bring these people right in from foreign airports right into the United States. Now, CBP, Customs and Border Protection, they also won't leak the details of who these people are, which countries they're coming in from. They say that that stuff is private and that the president approved this, and so they're not going to release that data. And we now know that these illegal immigrants have been getting VIP treatment. They get to fly into the United States with no ID, no security check. We don't know who any of these people are. Now, according to the Daily Mail, Joe Biden has secretly flown at least 320,000 people into the country. He's given 320,000 people a free place to stay, cell phone, cash, food, lawyers, a bus ticket, an airplane ticket. Meanwhile, so many Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. A record number of military veterans are taking their own lives. Emergency rooms are overflowing, and they're not paying their bills either. I mean, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to know that there are so many Americans that are struggling, and then to find out that 320,000 people were secretly flown into the country and given VIP treatment. Like, what is this, Disneyland? It's crazy to me. Anyway, sorry. All right, now, to make matters worse, Biden and the White House are trying to expand the White House created app that allows even more people from around the world to digitally claim asylum and get in line to be flown into the United States. I mean, I'm just so grossed out. I mean, sorry, it's crazy to me. All right, sorry, you guys come here to get the news and not to see me turn into an emotional wreck. All right, now Democrats have now announced that by some miracle, if Donald Trump wins the 2024 election, they won't count his electoral votes. They will scrutinize every electorate and every vote from every single state. Okay, now, this is exactly what was supposed to happen on January 6th. Members of the Senate, Republican members of the Senate, were going to raise their hand and call for debate and an investigation into Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada. They wanted to review them. Oh, yeah, and Pennsylvania. Then suddenly, 2 pipe bombs are discovered. Capitol Police are pulled away from the front lines. Police start firing flares and percussion grenades into the crowds at Trump supporters. And next thing you know, boom, the Capitol is being flooded. It's being absolutely flooded as people run for their lives. Now, there were some bad actors in there. Obviously, they were doing damage. They were hurting police officers. But this is what was happening. The electorates and the votes were never questioned from that time forward. Now the Democrats are telling us beforehand, this is exactly what we plan to do if Donald J. Trump gets back into office. It's crazy to me. I mean, my jaw dropped. Like, number one, I would expect that they would do this, but to announce it months in advance, I don't know. These guys are absolutely terrified of Donald Trump. Orville Ortiz, mayor and governors are probably coordinating with cartels to stage crimes, then look like heroes. You might be right. You might be right. That's wild. All right. Former President Donald Trump didn't hold back in a recent legal filing, slamming District Attorney Fani Willis of Georgia for what he claims is a sneaky attempt to turn potential Georgia jurors against him and his co-defendants in the election interference case. Basically, he's calling this purposeful prejudicing against him. This is like, for example, he's probably the most well-known person in the world alive right now. But you take somebody and you start leaking like crazy to the media all of the evil things that they had allegedly done, right? And allegations are very different than confirmation, right? And so they are prejudicing people against him so that they will vote. Now, they also did this by making sure they did it in Fulton County, which is a predominantly Democrat county. They also did this by going to New York, which is predominantly anti-Donald Trump. They also did this by going to Washington, D.C., which is predominantly anti-Donald Trump. Hence why Nikki Haley, the queen of the D.C. swamp, was able to win in that state. And then they couldn't do it in Florida, so they rounded up some Washington, D.C. Donald Trump haters, secretly flew them in and did a grand jury and then flew them back home. And that is the classified documents investigation. So what's going on here? Trump's legal team is saying that this is what Fani Willis was trying to do, and they're now calling her out. Trump's legal team isn't buying it. Willis's argument that there is no conflict of interest, accusing her of downplaying serious forensic misconduct. They also have taken issue with Fani Willis's alleged racially charged remarks during church services. The whole saga revolves around accusations of misusing state funds and inappropriate relationships between Fani Willis and her lover, Nate Wade. They're going out to churches saying Donald Trump is racist. Donald Trump hates black people. Donald Trump tried to steal the election. So they're prejudicing people against Donald Trump and the 18 other people. Now, Trump's side is pushing hard to get Fani Willis removed from the case and all charges dropped under Georgia's anti-racketeering law. So basically, they're saying you guys have committed racketeering. Now, Willis maintains that Trump's tactics are just a ploy to delay the trial or get rid of her. Judge Scott McAfee's decision on Fani Willis's future role. Hillary Clinton recently chimed in about President Biden's age during an interview on Super Tuesday. Hillary Clinton straight up said, yeah, Joe Biden's old. Let's just accept that fact. But here's the kicker. She still thinks we should vote for him, even though he's 81, even though he has dementia, even though Trump is younger and doesn't show signs of dementia. She said, pick your poison, folks, and let's save democracy together. Well, how is purposely picking somebody who has dementia a good idea? Can somebody tell me that? It's not a good idea. Now, while she danced around the issue of Biden's mental fitness, polls show that a lot of voters, even those who voted for Biden last time, are worried about his age. Still, Clinton's like, democracy first, people. We've got to pick democracy first. You guys, she's crazy. Now, even though Biden might be getting a bit rusty, she thinks he's the safer bet compared to crazy Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump's more likely to lock her up than Biden, so that's why she wants Joe Biden. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into it too much. All right, Jan, thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate that. All right, perhaps we will get some answers on the Biden family crimes after all. Hunter Biden will be compelled to testify in front of Congress alongside two business partners, Devin Archer and Tony Babalinsky. They're going to try to pit them against each other. They're going to ask them for details. They're going to ask them to confirm each other's details. My guess is it's going to come out that the Bidens enriched their family by tens of millions of dollars. And I will keep you updated once that becomes a public trial. Okay, now regarding the Russia-Ukraine war, during an encrypted video chat between top military generals in Germany, it was accidentally revealed that the British Army is secretly sneaking more and more weapons into Ukraine. It was also revealed that the United Kingdom's armed services has many, many soldiers on the ground in Ukraine. Now, this was supposed to be a secret operation, and the United Kingdom was putting boots on the ground in order to get Putin and hurt Russia. But they didn't want to officially declare war, so they were doing it all by lying and deception, basically cloak and dagger sneakery. Well, now Vladimir Putin and the Russian Federation Army are knowledgeable to what has been going on. My guess is that they will continue to fight the way that they've been fighting, but England needs to be careful. They could say that this is an act of war and that they are officially at war with London. I'll continue to keep you updated, but that leaked out just in the last 24 hours or so. Now, in Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky has just survived what is being touted as an assassination attempt from Russia. While visiting the port city of Odessa, Russia sent missiles into the city, which by some reports missed Zelensky's motorcade by about 500 meters. Now, in a controversial move, Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis tagged along for the trip, where they plan to observe the damage of this Ukrainian city. In reference to the close call, Mitsotakis stated, "We heard the sound of sirens and explosions that took place near us. We did not have time to get to a shelter. It was a very intense experience. It really read different about the war in newspapers, but to hear it with your own ears and see it with your own eyes is a different experience." So imagine if something had happened to the president of Ukraine or this leader from Greece. Okay, now, as the ships in the Red Sea still struggle with attacks from the Houthis, the terrorist group is now offering safe passage permits. Although these attacks started as a result of the war between Israel and Gaza, a cease and desist has not come to an agreement. According to former U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates, he stated that even if the war in Gaza halts, they, the Houthis, may decide that they like the idea of controlling the amount of shipping going through the Red Sea and will continue for an indefinite period of time to charge for unobstructed access. What this is mafia tactics, right? Where they say, listen, we're going to protect you for a fee. And you ask, who are you protecting me from? And they say, from us, right? That's the exact mafia mentality. This is what the Houthis are doing. All right, this is my update. I've got to run to a mastermind meeting across town for the next 3 or 4 hours. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, you are amazing, and I really, really appreciate you. Give this video a like and hit that subscribe button so we can get to 1.6 million amazing subscribers that are seeking the truth. All right, I love you guys. Have a great night, and I will see you on the next video.